So let's get going, everybody. How's everybody doing? Good, good, good. Hardcore fans here.
Yeah.
So you got a new album coming out. It's available on iTunes for pre-order already. Called Underground Luxury.
Underground Luxury.
That's an interesting title.
The most luxurious of the underground.
So what's the meaning behind that title?
Underground Luxury, you know, man, when I came up, you know, when I was a kid growing up, we didn't really have much of anything. And it created a mentality that, you know, if you want to make it in life, you got to take what you got and make it luxurious and make it something. Just getting a 30-cent notepad and writing a $1 million dream in it, you know, that's underground luxury. You know, a little girl in Afghanistan who takes shrapnel from exploded bombs and makes jewelry out of it and sells it, that's underground luxury. You know, just really taking the old hoopty, old cutlass and tricking it out, that's underground luxury. It's turning what could be deemed as something miserable or what somebody doesn't want and making it amazing. Now,
you also said in some interviews that I've read that there's another meaning relating to your career. Is that true?
Well, I feel like it relates to my career because, you know, I've always been an underground artist, and I'm privileged enough to experience the luxuries of the world and really see the world in whole, really, you know. And I go back home, and a lot of people, you know, they ain't been outside the highway, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I just understand it's a privilege. I'm blessed, man. You know, and so this whole album is a part of me reconnecting with my past, but retelling it in a way where everybody else can find their underground luxury.
Well, it's interesting you call yourself an underground artist because I don't consider you an underground artist. You've had incredible levels of success that most people would dream about. But is there a reason why you regard yourself in that way?
I'm like an underground luxury artist.
Okay.
No, seriously, man. Like I still kind of look at myself kind of like a underdog in a sense, you know, because I'm just in my own world. I'm in my own space. And, you know, this project for me is like the balance between all of the music that I made prior to the fame, the worldwide success, and the, you know, what have you, and the music that I made after that period of my life, because it's two different phases. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When, you know, when you're getting evicted out of your house and you can't make music no more because you got no studio, as opposed to being able to buy a house just to put a studio in it. You know, and so these different points that I've gone through in my life has provoked different types of music. And I'm never gonna make music how I made it back then. I'm never gonna make music how I made now 5-10 years down the line. It's always gonna change.
Now for people that don't know, your mixtape material, it tends to be a little more in depth, deeper of substance.
Yeah.
Will this be on Underground Luxury?
This album is everything. You know, it's the club side of me. It's the unfiltered side that you get from the mixtape,
right?
As well as my musical side and my, you know, pop side, whatever, rock side, alternative. It's all of the above, man. And you know, I really wanted to make sure that I captured that on this project, but I had to let it happen. You know, I can't go try to make my mixtape music again because I wasn't trying to make mixtape music. I was trying to make an album.
Right.
And so now, you know, I feel like it's just a effortless approach to it.
Now, you just recently dropped some new music, All I Need, and you also have Headband. All I Want and Headband, but there's a huge difference between those two records. The odd thing to me is that All I Want is about money, but it's performed in a way that you almost don't know that if you're kind of not quite paying attention.
Yeah. It's many different levels to that song, you know. When you want to be successful, you know, you need money. You know, when you want to buy certain things that you want, and really the song is about being successful. It's about really just living your dream. You know, whether or not you want to just have money to go splurge or whether you want money to support your family, you have the right to do whatever you want to do, to live whatever dream you want to live. And for me, I was telling my story and why I want money and why I want to be successful. So somebody else may hear the hook and they may feel a different type of way. They may be like, yeah, man, it's motivating for me, man. And like somebody today just told me they heard the song and cried because it was that emotional for them. And so it's not just about the money, but so to speak, it's like, shit, if I get some more money, all I want, money, money, money.
All right, so we gonna see you at Barney's tomorrow, Sha?
Nah, not really, man. I mean, I'm one of them people where I just like what I want. You know, when I grew up, man, like I couldn't have like parties at my house. I couldn't celebrate my birthday party with my friends at my house. I couldn't have people over. You know, it was quite the uninhabitable type of place I lived in, and so, you know, all these situations just made me want more. You know, it really created this insatiable appetite to be better and to improve myself. And I think that's really where it all stems from.
How have you evolved? You have gone through a few different incarnations of your career. Lyrically and musically, I might add. Not just, you know, most people focus on just lyrics, but you've evolved as an actual musician. And this is a little different. You produced it yourself.
I think, you know, before I wanted to show people that I knew music, and now I'm showing people that I know people. And, you know, really, a lot of where it comes from, man, is just me being who I am, you know, and experiencing what I experience. All music comes from the experience that because I'm just talking about my life. And, you know, what I talked about, you know, back when I first started, created the fame that I have now. And so now I'm just talking about what it is now. And,
right.
And, you know, now it's more about culture for me. You know, it's more about really tapping into the fabric of society, you know, sonically changing, you know, the perception of music, you know. And at the same time, you know, music is therapy for people. You know, music is a transporter. Music takes you from one place to another place, you know.
Do you ever feel pressure? I mean, right now it's just especially the younger artists. It's extremely competitive, and you're on the cusp of being a veteran. You're kind of right in the middle, where you have these young dudes nipping at your heels, but you're still very established in your own right.
You know, man, there's really nobody who can do what I do, you know, and I pridefully say that because I work hard making music. You know, honestly, like artists, we try to make what we do seem like we just, you know, I just woke up and made this hit record. Right. I mean, but don't get me wrong, like all these songs on this project, they came in a very natural way where it didn't really take time because, you know, they just happened that way. But, you know, I spend a lot of time, you know, making sure that things sound how they need to sound, and, you know, just really, you know, I don't even record a verse unless I feel it. You know, I'm not just gonna sit and write it because I don't want to think like a rapper or a producer. I'm thinking more like a DJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, all right, what needs to happen here? What would be dope to happen here? You know, sometimes thinking like a rapper or a producer may get in the way of what could creatively happen. That would be amazing. You know.
I've always often wondered, like, what does B.o.B listen to? Like, your style is so broad, but. And I can tell there's a lot behind it, not just hip hop. What else do you enjoy?
Man, I listen to a lot of EDM music, man, like trancey. You know, the type of music if you just so happen to be rolling up one day and you put your Pandora on, you know, it's like right. What would come up on that station, you know. But, I mean, I'm more, you know, when I listen to music for pleasure, I'm typically not really listening to, like, you know, hip-hop unless I'm trying to, like, party or, like, you know, turn up for the night. Yeah.
Now, for a brief moment there, we thought, you know, Kendrick Lamar. I know this is a little old, but I have to address it since I have you here. You know, he kind of laid it out there for really the whole young generation. You know, the younger generation, if you will, of hip hop. And you were one of the few that responded. Did you take that personally, or were you more or less just trying to let him know?
Hip hop is many different things, you know. It's more than just music, you know. It's a lifestyle. And sometimes it's a sport. and this was one of those situations where it was a sport, you know. And so I think for me, I had fun making that record because it's like now I can just do something just to do it, you know. But, you know, I really don't think anybody got offended by it because if you are an MC, you're supposed to feel that way. It's like I wouldn't even want to listen to somebody if they was like, well, I think I'm all right.
Right.
It's like, why would I want to listen to that? And so everybody, you know, it's like hip-hop is like, even if you're not really talking about anybody, when you get on the mic, it's like you just got this brolic mentality like, I'm ready for whatever. You know, it's like you just embody that.
Right. Now, a lot of people feel like, well, you come from Atlanta, a lot of people, like, I was looking at an interview with Young Dro, and he was just like, you know, Atlanta, we don't, ciphers, we don't do that. You know, it's no big deal to us. And it's oddly enough, T.I. was complaining that there was no Grand Hustle cipher. So I thought that was a kind of almost a contradiction.
Well, you know, we of course we did the cipher one year, the BET Hip Hop Awards. But, you know, I think to kind of piggyback off what Dro was saying is that in the Southern culture, the way that we grew up on hip hop, it wasn't really so much about the cipher, you know, as much as it you know is in you know, hip-hop, very heavily hip-hop oriented areas such as, you know, New York. But, you know, it's just we gotta, for us, it's more about the swag, you know, it's more about the feeling that goes into it, more so than the bars, you know what I'm saying? Cause like West Side, Bang Head, well, bro,
right.
It's a character, man. It really is.
Okay, who are your top 5 artists?
Oh man,
I usually say top 5 MCs, but for you, I'm gonna ask. You can leave it open.
Man, that's a tough question for me because I listen to so many. You know, this year I listened to a lot of different albums, man, from J. Cole to 2 Chainz to Eminem's project, and you know, even before that, I was actually bumping Kendrick's album. I thought that was a classic album as well. But I mean, it's really everything, man. I really don't have a favorite. You know, because I'm listening to lounge music one day, I may get an idea, sample something, and then I can't listen to it no more because that's why I really try not to sample because I'll sample it and I can't listen to this no more. I sampled it.
You feel like it gets compromised?
Yeah, it's like it gets monotonous because every time when I play the album, every time I pass by that song, I'm be like, I hear this so much.
Okay. You are about to be you're trying to be a mogul, a businessman, an owner, your own label.
She's with that. She's like, yes. No, keep clapping. I like it.
I was surprised to hear that because, you know, you're such an eccentric artist, you know, regarded as like this consummate artist. You know, usually those people stay artists.
Yeah, you know, I really had to grow from a musician to an artist and from an artist to a businessman. And I think just naturally allowing myself to do that because I'm the type of person where I just want to expand always. You know, if you know, I didn't always play the guitar, I didn't always sing, I didn't always, you know, I wasn't always as creatively visual as I become. So, you know, I think just, you know, giving myself time to know what I like. And not just doing something just to do it, and then it failed, and then you'd be like, "Oh, well, I wasn't meant to do that." And it's like, no, you just didn't give yourself time to develop things, you know. All
right, so everyone, get your questions together. We're gonna take some Q&As right now.
How you doing? My name is Mark. If you weren't a musician, what occupation would you be doing?
I would probably be a chef or a research scientist.
Can you explain that? We have to know.
A chef because, you know, you get creative freedom to cook what you want to cook. You know, you just whatever, you get an idea for it. And a research scientist because I'm like, you know, I was the kid in high school who was on the computer all day researching conspiracy theories and, you know what I'm saying, trying to get to the bottom of things. So I just naturally had this, you know, need to want to, you know how to manipulate things and how they work.
All right.
Hi. Do you ever, in your career, at the end of your career, plan on getting married?
Dang. What question is coming next? No,
Do you ever plan on getting married?
You know, eventually, but it's so far down the line for me. I can't even really see it yet. But it'll happen, in due time with life. But I'm 24 now, so yeah.
You a baby.
Oh yeah, I'm a Scorpio. My birthday's on November 15th, so so as a birthday gift, I would just ask everybody pre-order my album, and we're even.
Hi, my name is Rowan. Do you have any words of wisdom for young artists out there starting off their careers?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that. When you're an aspiring artist, everybody's always like, you need to find your thing. You need to, find what makes you you. No matter what you do, it's going to have your DNA in it. All you have to do is just be yourself and just say what you want to say. Like when you're writing the lyric, or just say what you would naturally say in conversation. There's really nothing to find because you're there. All you have to do is just make it better. And that's something that, I constantly, tell myself whenever I get writer's block or whenever I get stuck with something. And I think that's what I would tell myself 10 years ago.
Okay. All right. So we can take another question.
What's happening?
I want to ask, what's one of the biggest things you notice, if there is a difference, between maybe your American fan base and your international fan base as far as like loyalty, culture, and how they support you as an artist?
I think when I'm overseas, the love seems to be more about the music, than anything. Like it'll be a song that I'll release over here, and then overseas they'll go crazy for it. Like, you know what I mean? It'll be like they'll play it on the radio, and they don't even play it here. And so, it just kind of lets me know where, just the difference in the cultures, really. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Javier.
Yo.
Who's an artist that you haven't worked with yet that you really want to work with or looking forward to work with?
Man, I used to have a wish list, but I feel like I kind of knocked everything. I checked everything off of that.
Once you get Eminem in your, it's kind of like,
yeah, that was like, for me, I grew up listening to, Eminem, DMX, and like Nas and Tupac were like the four main MCs I listened to. So, of course, I couldn't work with all of them, but after working with them, I pretty much satisfied that side of me, that 15-year-old side that's like, yeah, I'm in the lab.
Hi.
What's up?
I'm sure you were in the beginning of your career, you were just as good as you are now. What's the difference between the B.o.B that nobody knew about back in 2007 and the B.o.B that's topping charts now?
Exactly how you explained it.
Was that one event? Or like one person you toured with or something like that?
It's different phases, man, because when I was an underground artist, I didn't want to be dubbed as a rapper. That really bothered me. When I had the song Haters Everywhere We Go, I was like, no, I'm not just a rapper. I can play the guitar, I can sing. And so then I went in this phase where all I wanted to do was just rock out with a band. And everybody was like, yo, Bob, don't just stop rapping. Like, keep rapping. And so then I blew up and had huge pop success. And everybody was like, man, he's a pop star, world-renowned pop star. I was like, hold on now, I'm an MC. And it's like, that's what we called you at first. So it's like, now, man, I don't really have a preference at all, man. Like, good music is good music. If I make a rock song and it ends up being a #1 rock song, then that's a success. It's just me being me. As long as it comes naturally, I don't have an issue with anything.
Hello, how you doing?
How you doing?
I just want to know, like, far as making your own label and stuff like that, is anything else you want to do, like, far as acting, like anything else besides music?
Absolutely. I've actually started acting already. I did something for Single Ladies, and I'm about to make another appearance on another show, which I'm not gonna say yet. But I think for me, I'm one of them people where I don't want to mess up, so I'm like really, I like to approach everything with, being prepared. So eventually, of course, I already announced me starting my label. I'm not really like looking for artists, like digging, but I'm like watching. I'm just watching to see what catches my eye, and eventually I'll get into movies and and more entrepreneurial things.